I know we've talked on the side about your own personal investment in this product. You put a bit of your own money into this. When you're failing, it wasn't to the tune of like, well, that cost me $25 and put it on the scrap pile. You had money on the line and real money on the line. And that takes a ton of gumption, whether it's from a grant, a loan, or your own funding. It's a huge risk you were taking.
So what's crazy, Heather, is that this was in my head for a year before I could even get it out because of fear, because what if, because the like, oh my gosh, the vulnerability. And through some coaching, I realized that we have to become vulnerable in order to make these changes. We have to allow ourselves to just feel it and fear it and do it anyway. People get comfortable, but I found out in our industry, people actually like change. They like new products. They like new things. And I said I wouldn't make a product unless I could make it better. That's my mottos.
Welcome to Brazen and Bold. I am so honored to have on our show Tammie Axworthy. She's a friend of mine from the Goldwell National Team based out of Toronto. And she also has been in the industry, over 30 years? It's hard to believe. Okay, if you saw her, you'd be like, she's 25, so whatever. But over 30 years, she's got amazing energy. She's great at what she does. She has a background in education, salon ownership, building a business, and most recently, entrepreneurship, founding a product she saw a need for in our industry. It's called BeautiFoils. So I am really excited to hear about how she innovated, the problems she solved, and what got her there in the industry. Welcome back, Tammie.
Thanks so much, Heather, for having me. This is amazing.
Yeah, it was so exciting you made time. I know it's hard for us to coordinate with your education schedule. Show season is over, right?
Show season's over. It's summertime.
Yeah, tell us about what was the most fun you had, I'd say, like in the last year in shows and opportunities. I know you've done some pretty incredible work.
I think I was on the Portfolio on tour in Ontario and in BC this year. And those shows were a lot of fun because you get to work with the creative coming up with the looks. You get to work with teams. You get to work with people. I really love working with people that I've never met, like I've never worked with before. I know them. Like I worked at the Kingston show with Sylvain, and I worked the BC show with Daniel, and just working with two people I've never worked with before and coming up with like our vibe and coming up with like who's going to say what and the presence in the team and working with these amazing people behind the scenes, like our backstage team and the managers and all the people just making it all come together. And it was pretty awesome to present those looks to everyone.
I love that. I mean, you've pushed the envelope creatively, which I think is really beautiful to watch, not only in artistry behind the chair and then in educating, but now you've had these opportunities on bigger stages and platforms. You were recently as well in Europe, weren't you, with Goldwell for something?
Oh, I got to do the Color Sphere Milan show, the big Goldwell show that they have every year. I was asked to work that back in last September, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And
I was like, I think it's in the last year too. Huge opportunity for your career.
So much has happened. Where's the time gone? It was probably like one of the biggest, coolest things I've ever done in my whole career. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
It was
well,
amazing.
To be flown to Milan, to be a platform artist, putting together the look of the season for a huge brand. It's massive. And so I wanted to take a minute to just acknowledge that and talk about it. I met you just about 2.5, 3 years ago, but you already were a rock star. And then to see some of the opportunities that you have had over that short time that I've known you, it's quite an honor. I'm like, that's my friend. I know her. Like that amazing badass. I know her.
It's so cool that I just take the opportunities where they go. Like someone says, hey, Tammie, you want to go do this? Yep. I just don't say no. I just go, yep, that sounds great. Let's do that. I go feel the fear, do it anyway.
Yeah,
figure it out.
I love that.
And I always trust the people who have put me in these positions to know that like they think I can do it. And I believe that they know I can do it. And then working with the team to put it all together and just trusting that you got this. And it's just going to be better than you think it could ever be. And then it is. Like, I'll never forget when I walked out on stage in Milan and the music's pumping and there's got to be 1,500 people in the audience.
Gosh.
Like, and all of a sudden something came over me, which had never happened before. And I went, you got this.
Yes.
This is incredible. And I looked to the right where my team is working. So we've got Daniel I think he's from Berlin. We've got Tina, she's from the UK. We've got Odette, she's from the US. And then there's me, and we're all up there. And we've worked for the last 4 days to put all this together. And I just my heart was ready to explode. Like I just couldn't have been happier. It was so amazing, the experience. And I'm like, this is it. Like, this is
yes.
we worked this so hard to get to this epiphany of feeling. And I can't even describe more than that how that experience was. It was awesome.
Thank you for sharing that. And the thing that I love hearing is how you had the moment instead of that moment of dread
Good.
of like, oh my gosh, can I do it? It was,
Yeah, it
I've
wasn't
got
there.
this. Tammie has incredible energy, as you can tell, incredible smile and incredible presence in general. And I think so much about what has gotten you where you've gone and where you're going, what's going to keep taking you there is that infectious, sincere positivity. You got people who are like, rah, rah, rah. And Tammie's not rah, rah, rah. Tammie just is that. And so I think that that's a really huge, it's a mindset quality. It's a discipline. It's something that's clear that you've put into practice for the majority of your life. And that's why it's so much a part of you. And it's really wonderful to watch.
Thank you, Heather. One of my friends said something to me, and she's like, "You are relentless in
Mm,
pursuit of better, in pursuit of what you want, in pursuit of like experiences. Like you're relentless." And I said, "Well, I just feel like I'm what's it called, ridiculously and delusionally optimistic. Like
yeah.
whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right." Because it's, your perspective is everything. So delusionally optimistic that it's all just going to be fine and work out. It just does.
Okay. And that's it. Whether or not you believe you can do it, you're right. I was speaking to my site director in the Philippines, and he's like starting to share with me some of his ideas and his vision as we're coming up with other
Cool.
ideas for Spark. And he goes, I think I might be delusional. And I had a question for the first time in my life, and it's what is the difference between vision and delusion?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that they're pretty closely related. How do you know if you're a visionary or if you're delusional? And it might just be what happens like, did you get it or not? But
I
there's,
feel like you get this when I think about things and what I want or the vision of where something's going to go, and I get like this goosebumpy feeling of just thinking that's going to happen. Failure is not an option, and it's not trying to turn it into a negative thing. I just mean I just can't see it being any other way.
yeah, you're
There's no,
so, like we said the word relentless, which is the word I've used to describe myself. Others have described me the same way. It's a really important quality, but the relentless piece, it's yes, failure is an option. You could fail. As a matter of
yeah,
fact,
yeah,
anybody listening, failure is a total possibility. Look at the world; it happens all around us every day.
yeah.
So thank you for attending my TED Talk. What a positive speaker I am. No, failure is a possibility, but the relentless piece is that your focus is so single to the goal, the target, the end, or the outcome that
Yes.
you're intending for. Like you're so focused on like that piece that everything else that could be drops away. And I think that that's what really increases your access to success and accomplishment. So it's such an important thing. I didn't imagine we'd go there right away. I just like in my brain talking to you, it's something that stands out about you. So that mindset piece is killer. You've had, like we said, an incredible career and a lot of fun opportunities, even in the last year. What's the thing that Tammie Axworthy is most excited about right now? Like someone listening who doesn't know you, what is most exciting to you right now? Whether it's about the industry, your own work, what you see up and coming, what's exciting you the most right now?
I'm launching a new product and it just launched this year. So I'm about 6 months into my new company called BeautiFoil. And I got to say, it's an emotional roller coaster. And the excitement of that is just the new ideas that keep coming up for it, promotions that we can do, innovative, working with stylists to get a product out there that people will love to work with, that I love working with, and innovating and elevating the salon industry, because I feel like the more the more I want to share, and the more I'm a relationships person. Relationships are like everything to me. And when I go and teach a class or I go and work a show, and the energy that you get from sharing, like I'm a sharer. So if there's something cool, I want to share it. Someone wants to something cool, share it with me. So I feel like that education's getting quite elevated. I feel like the bar is being raised with our professionalism, with our industry. I feel like as much as I don't know, there's lots of things out there and there's lots of social media, but really being present in a class and being able to reach people on that inspirational level and work hands on with people is really what makes me excited.
I love that. Yeah, thank you. And making a difference with what you're doing and innovating. Of course, it's fun to see a brainchild product come out of our mind into real life, which is really fun. And it's been really cool. We talked about this when it was an idea, when you were first working with prototypes, into the design phase, into seeing what it does. And so It's just been really fun to see what you've done with it. So just in the last year, BeautiFoils was born, and this was born from a real problem you saw every day at the salon, something that you were facing as an artist, teaching in other salon spaces. Take me back to where you realized I need to make a solution, or this is the solution. When did that happen, or what was that moment like?
Oh, I
Because I want
remember it.
people listening to know, like, this is how innovation happens. These moments happen to all of us, but you took it and you made it into something. So when was that light bulb moment?
I was working with a client, and I've never really been able to find a foil that I loved using that suited like all my needs. And things were slipping really bad. And I mean, I'm a fast and not tidy foiler. Okay. But things were not working the way I wanted them to. And all of a sudden I almost threw like a fit, and I just
Yeah.
stopped. Like, why can't I just find a foil that I love to use? Why can't this be better? And then all of a sudden I'm like, how hard can it be? And then I put my left foot down. Do you know the difference between like right foot down is like you're a little bit upset, left foot down, you do kind of like a jump and you're like, left foot down means you're like serious. So I put my left
She
foot
really threw a
down.
real fit.
I really threw a fit in front of my client and my apprentice. And I was like, how hard can it be? I'm just gonna make some foils myself. How hard can it be? Well, it actually turns out it's pretty hard.
Go to
Once
find
you get
out real
going, you can't
hard.
stop. You can't stop. So is it easy? No. Was it worth it? Yes. Is it emotional roller coaster? Sure it is. But it's like one foot in front of the other. And it's just once the momentum gets going, that's the whole thing. When you get the idea. And I went off to a retreat a couple years ago in Palm Springs. And it was all about hairstylists that want to do something other than just doing hair. They got product launches, they book. I met some incredible people, books they want to write, or products they want to launch, or other business ideas and things that they want to do. And it was really inspirational and really supportive, and really got me off the ground with going to this kind of retreat and connecting with a bunch of other people who felt like there was more for them. I always feel like there's
Yeah.
something more I can do. There was something cool that hasn't been done, and I just strive towards that. So that was really cool.
Okay, I love that. And pause for anybody listening. Tammie went somewhere away from the salon, not behind the chair. It was salon related, but you took the time to invest in yourself and to nurture an idea. And you didn't even, was this pre stomping that left foot down and
It was
saying,
a
I
year
wanted to see different?
after. It was a
Okay,
year
so
after
you
it
so then
took
you
a while.
knew that you had something in you, but you just weren't sure how to go with it. So you took the time and you started working on it. How long ago? I love that you said you put one foot in front of the other, but first you stomped your left foot. That's how you started the
Total left
journey.
foot down. That's literally the serious spot. I did this little hissy fit, left foot down.
How long ago was that?
Almost 3 years.
Okay, and that's actually that's pretty quick to start. Then you attended this class and you were around other people, which is a huge boon to getting the momentum and to seeing like, hey, maybe this person's writing a book or they're doing something in a styling product, but now I have this energy around it. And then you started the process to do it. What problem does BeautiFoils solve? Like, what was this thing that you were so frustrated with that you had to do it?
Well, I find that the way the foil works is that you have this little fold over the edge that you're supposed to put your comb in. Well, nobody ever does. And so you end up losing length right off the bat because everybody either unfolds it and refolds it because they don't really like the fold that's there. But it's made that way because that's how things are made. And so you
Mhm.
lose length. And I'm like, why is that even there? We don't need that. I would like a longer foil because sometimes I feel like those ends don't quite always get in and I end up flipping them up.
Mhm.
Um, I also find sometimes that the foil is very thin and it rips. I made mine just a tiny bit thicker, but are still considered to be medium in the micron thickness. And I created embossing called raised dots, and it's got a grip. And what I found out from that grip, just from stylists using it, I didn't even make it this way, that from using lightener on that foil, it actually saturates the hair better with less product and has a better even saturation, and it actually works a little bit faster. I think because of the airflow and because of the saturation, because it's not flat. So
Mhm.
mine have little raised dots and that grips the hair. I find people tell me that they can do really long hair and the foils stay in place. And yet I've had clients tell me that these are the most comfortable foils that they have ever had in their hair, and it feels half as heavy as it used to feel. So it's creating comfort for the client. It's creating a better experience for the stylist. It's giving us, and the best part is you can rip these 12-inch, so they're 12 inches long. You can rip them into 6 inches right along the seam in the middle from the pop-up, and you get these perfect little hairline foils for touching up hairlines. So you get like two products in one, and they rip so cleanly. And so now I have a batch of ripped half ones, and then I have full ones in the box. You can also get them in a roll. So yeah, it works both ways.
And you can get them in a roll so that you have for like insane lengths of hair or people who are doing, massive projects. And the first thing you created was the one prototype, the one boxed foil, right?
Yeah.
It started with one step and then you started with one product.
Yeah.
And now you have a couple of other little items that are out there. Tell the listeners a little bit about like from then came what? You got the roll of foils.
Okay, a comb, because I feel like every comb that I was using was a 4-inch comb and the foils are 5 inches wide. And so you put it underneath and then you have this little rip. You try to snug it up against the scalp and the foil rips. And exactly. And then I'm like, why are they not making
It
large
makes that noise. If you've never heard it, it makes that noise if you listen. It's just like, no good.
We need a button. You know how like Staples has that was easy?
That was easy. That means that it wasn't easy. It didn't work. That's what that means.
So good. So I have one 5-inch extra long comb and I hold it near and dear to me, but I put a flat iron on top of it and then I melted it. And so then I had, because they're plastic. So I'm like, okay, I need to make a longer comb that's more ergonomic, that doesn't melt when accidentally stick your flat iron on top of it for a minute or two. So I did. I made carbon fiber combs that have a little knurling at the edge, so it's comfortable for your hand, and they're 5 inches wide. I also made 4-inch ones, but 5-inch wide fit the foil perfectly.
What the heck's a knurling?
So knurling is a little bit of, so between the connector between the little carbon fiber part and the metal part, there's a little like, I want to say like a little spiral. So it has a raised texture so that way you can actually pop your finger and it rests against your finger. It gives you more stability and grip.
Okay, perfect. Listen, because I didn't design a comb yet, so I don't know these words. I love it. That's awesome. From the conception, the idea, then going to this conference, to actually getting a prototype, to getting a product that you could sell, to getting it into people's hands. I mean, I'm a person who's like, I've got a billion ideas and I'm listening to this show and I'm like, yeah, Tammie's onto something. What was the actual process like? Is it months in the design phase, months in the research phase? Like, tell us, like, pull the curtain back and like, okay, pretend Bestie is listening right now and they're like, okay, Tammie, I've got X, Y, and Z I want to make. Tell me what I need to plan on. Tell us what we need to plan on if we want to do something like this.
So you got to have an idea, which you got to make sure is nice and solid. And then you have to start finding manufacturers that'll make this product for you. So you just have to go online, you have to do research and find out as much as you can about where the product has to come from. And then you got to go into government regulations. Ooh, fun. So then you have to go and find out on the websites, and then you start talking to lawyers. So I basically sat down with one of my besties who's great with marketing and ideas. And I just went, okay, we have 29 steps to get through. Let's hash out these ideas. So I started throwing them down on paper about what I think I got to do. And then also with the thing you should also do is see if you can apply for any grants. I was able to get the startup program grant from the Brantford Resource Center. That's where I'm from. I'm from Brantford, Ontario, Canada. And most cities will have some sort of government program to help. And so I had to put all this idea together and then I had to pitch it to them. So that was my first business pitch.
How does one even find out what grants are available? Because that's great to know there is money around for people who have ideas that want to start businesses, folks.
Literally, go on AI and just ask government grants for small businesses and then apply as many as you can. There's lots of female founded entrepreneur grants that you can apply for. That's also helpful. You have to get your legals in order. Then we have to apply for a trademark. And then I just started researching, what does it take to actually get this going? What's my timeline? Researching it out, finding the people. Oh, and then one of my very good friends is my branding manager. So he did all my branding. And also like tapping into the people in your life that can offer solutions. Like I had so many people that were like, oh, I have a guy that can do that. Oh, I have someone that can point you in that direction. And once I was open to that and asking the questions and accepting the help, accepting the referrals.
I have a patent attorney you should call, or I know a guy who does marketing.
Great. I know a guy who's good. I got an IT guy that can help you with that. I got someone that can help set up the Shopify store. I got a marketing person who can do my branding and the pictures, and it just starts going. You have to write it all out, and then you have to just start executing what you can and sourcing out. And then you also have to go to the bank because you've got to get some funding. So that's another thing. You have to make sure you're set up for that so you can get your cash flow. And there's a lot of steps, but if you just write it all out, I call it brain mapping, do the brain mapping, and then
Yeah.
just get started. Get started with what you can. Start writing yourself to-do lists every day. I gave myself 1 to 2 hours. I'd say 1 to 2 hours on my day that I was available to start getting things done. And now I dedicate that time in my day every day. It's the beginning of my day is to this. Dedicate yourself. I'm sure there's a lot of people there that you run salons or you're very busy, or anyone who's wanting to have an idea, you have to put the time aside and put into it. Because it's hard. It's really hard. It's not easy to
Yeah.
do. I keep saying if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But actually, if you just plug away bit by bit by bit, it will all come together.
Hey, business owners. Yes, you. I know you're juggling it all: marketing, admin tasks, websites, podcasts, social media. The list never ends. That's where Spark comes in. We're a virtual assistant company built just for small business owners, because once you're able to delegate, we know you'll be able to dominate. Our clients are seeing up to 30% increase in social media engagement and sales, all by letting us handle the behind the scenes work. Not to mention an incredible boost in flexibility, profit, and time. So scan the QR code right now to schedule a free chat with my team. Let's make you efficient AF and help you focus on what you do best: growing and leading your business. Yeah, I love it. And from that, like when you started sourcing manufacturers, you got the prototype, you had to have them send a box, try it out,
Yes.
send back edits.
Yes.
How long did that process take?
A year.
Okay.
It takes
Yeah.
it took a year now that I know how to expedite things faster, because you're also communicating with usually China when it comes to manufacturing, because these things are not done in our country. Like they're just not. You have to source out. It's packaged and created in Canada, but the manufacturers are in China. So we have to sometimes deal with time change issues. So I would have to figure out when's the best time to communicate with these people. And sometimes translation doesn't always work wonderfully. And then sometimes you don't get the ideas quite right. I have botched a couple things, and it's the process. I call it first year problems, first year challenges, because in the first year, you got to get through all of these things that don't go right. So that way,
The first time you've tried it. Brene Brown calls it the effing first times or effing first
Yes.
failures. I can't remember, but it's
First-
like,
it's the first year
it is.
failures. Yeah. And
Yeah,
you can't expect it. You have to lower your expectations. You can't expect it to go well. You can't expect everything to go perfect. It's not gonna. And you go, okay, that didn't work. Pivot quick. That's the number one thing. Don't get hung up
Okay.
on things that don't work. You get, okay, that didn't work. Pivot quick. The quicker you pivot, the quicker you get over it, the quicker you solve it, the more you can move on. So it's
Time
speed.
out. Please say that again and slow it down, because that is everything out of an entire 5 books we could read or write. Please, one more time about pivoting. That's amazing.
So these first year issues and first year challenges we're going to have come with a mindset of you got to figure out, okay, that didn't work, and pivot as quickly as possible. You got to get over it, feel it, deal with it, get over it, and go, okay, we're pivoting as fast as we can. And the faster you get over it, the faster you pivot, the quicker things are going to go in the right direction.
And can that be said of every single thing any of us could pursue? And it does not matter the application, whether it's in business, relationship, health, fitness, wellness, mental health, art.
Yeah. You get it right or you learn. There's no in between. You get it right.
Yeah.
Or you learn and you go, okay, let's figure out what else we can do, another direction. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that's hard to do. That requires a degree of resilience, of competency and confidence, because you don't have to share, but I know we've talked on the side about your own personal investment in this product. You put a bit of your own money into this. When you're failing it, it wasn't to the tune of like, well, that cost me $25 and put it on the scrap pile. You had money on the line, and real money on the line. And that takes a ton of gumption, whether it's from a grant, a loan, or your own funding. It's a huge risk you were taking.
So what's crazy, Heather, is that this was in my head for a year before I could even get it out, because of fear, because what if, because the like, oh my gosh, the vulnerability. And through some coaching, I realized that we have to become vulnerable in order to make these changes. We have to allow ourselves to just feel it and fear it and do it anyway.
Yeah. And the power that comes from that, you could have lost every cent of the investment you put into it and found out that nobody wanted the product you made except for you. And what did you find instead?
I have people who like to support me, want to try new things. There's actually a lot. People get comfortable, but I found out in our industry, people actually like change. They like new products. They like new things. I think half the hairstylists we like to try. Oh, what's new on the market and what works. And I said I wouldn't make a product unless I could make it better. That's my
Yeah.
motto. Is I'm not just going to make something else that's out there for the sake of it. If it can't be awesome, I don't want to do it. So
Yeah.
hopefully people will find as the product grows and the company tries new innovative products and we grow and we get out there to more people, people feel the same way.
That's incredible. And not only that, like people do want to support you. There are people who are receptive. And I actually don't know that our industry or humans in general, the sapiens tend to be averse to change. Change is so uncomfortable. It threatens what we know. It threatens and that's safety. It threatens our safety. And I believe that this comes from a primal survival thing for us to resist change. But our industry loves innovation. It loves
Mhm.
something interesting and new. And so I think inviting people to try an innovation is a little bit less threatening than do everything differently. And here's why. So that's cool. But it took a lot of courage, took a lot of your own money, it took a lot of your own time. Before you got a cent back, you had to continue believing in this, which is really
Yeah.
tremendous. So you've got to have a very solid business plan, a solid concept of what you're doing, an understanding of the target market. What is your demographic? What problem you're solving?
Yes.
Who would be your potential buyer? The
Yes.
price point and scalability. You also had to look into. I remember we talked about this at the not at the very beginning, but at the beginning of when you're like, it's coming out now, and it was like, okay, what can we sell this for? What does the production cost? What are people paying already for an existing solution? And what would make them want to pay a different price, a little bit more for something different, et cetera? I mean, that's a lot of work. It can't just be like, this sounds really exciting and pretty. It was a ton of discipline into it.
So much. So
Yeah.
much work. It's not easy. The nitty and gritty of this is it's an
Yeah.
emotional roller coaster. You get one win and then you get a bunch of not wins. And then you
Yeah.
feel like you're one step back, but you just keep pushing. You're like, because this is the creative process. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Oh, this sucks. Why am I doing this? Okay, okay, we got a couple wins and okay, it sucks again today. It's like up and down. I guess I have to honestly tell you, I was not prepared for the emotional roller coaster because I feel like I'm probably one of the happiest people I know. I'm just
It's
always
true.
yeah.
She is. It's
like
great. This is
I just
her. This
that's
is
who I am.
real.
But this has been a beast. I'm not gonna lie. This is a beast of an emotional roller coaster I was not prepared for, but I'm riding the wave.
Okay.
Riding the
To the
wave.
point of riding the wave. There's a book by a success mentor called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so that's a real thing. And it's by Darren Hardy, and it talks about the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys. And I think if we were to expect the ocean to always be flat and smooth,
Yeah.
and we were in it and it started having waves, we would be like, and we're going to drown. And this is where I
Yeah.
die. Which, can you die in the ocean, Tammie?
Yes.
Very much so. Yes, you absolutely can. People die in the ocean all the time. So, but if you expect there to be waves, expect there to be ups and downs on the roller coaster, you get on a roller coaster. Let's go to the theme park. Literal roller coaster. You buckle up, you
You
fasten the
buckle
safety
up.
harness, and sometimes it goes really, really, really slow. Click,
Yeah.
click, click, click,
Yeah.
tick, and then woo, and it's
Wings.
loop de loop and it's everywhere. Okay, so that's part of a roller coaster. When you get on that ride, when you're in line, you see it. Whoop, loop de loop. People scream. They scream here. They go there. You see what's happening. You're in the ride. You're in the line. You know what's about to hit you. And if we can imagine this, assume it, and accept it as
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, people who
Yes.
are putting ourselves out there, that's
Yes.
part of the process. We don't know when it's going to turn, loop up, go to a beautiful soaring vista, or dip down and make our stomachs drop out and want to barf. But we know it's going to go up and down, twist and turn, and be scary. As long as we can accept that and surrender to it, it's a little less scary in the scariness because it's part of the process,
Well, you said
right?
about the roller coaster going down. That down is what gives the momentum to go up. So
Right. There
there
you
you go.
go. And if we expect it to be static, like a walk,
Yeah.
something steady state, it's not a carousel in a smooth circle up and down, round and around. It's very different. It's varied. It's intense. And I think to prepare ourselves for that as entrepreneurs, and whether this is someone who's starting a brand, a business, branching out into something else, trying out to be on stage or do platform work or artistry, There's going to be ups and downs of putting yourself out there, of exposing the world to your art or the things you want and getting decimated. There's things I have auditioned for and applied for that I have not gotten many, many times. And I've had doors slammed in my face. And like in innovating, not only as a salon owner, but as a founder of Spark, I've had major wins and huge catastrophic losses. And sometimes wondering, can I keep doing this? Do I even want to keep doing this on any
Yeah.
business I've run?
Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do this. I'm out, like tapped, I'm done. And somehow I don't actually quit because I'm a sicko. I'm
Right.
a glutton for punishment. But every single time I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think I've
Same.
had a little bit, enough space and exposure to be able to tell people with a surety what you're telling the listeners now. And that's, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
That down gives them momentum for the speed of going up, for the burst of energy, for the innovation.
Yes.
And if you can trust that process and stick with it,
Yeah.
you might barf along the way, but you're
Oh
going to
yeah.
get somewhere,
There's going to be
right?
some of that. There's definitely going to be some of that, but like press on.
Yeah, I like that. What has been the biggest lesson for you so far that you've learned as an entrepreneur, whether it's a salon owner or in founding BeautiFoils?
The biggest lesson. I noticed that there's help everywhere. Like tap into your resources and be open to other people's opinions, even if it's something you don't think you want to hear, or an idea. They're like, Tammie, have you thought about this? And I'm like, that's not at all what I want or whatever. I listen and think there's something from that.
Okay.
And I think the lesson is just trust yourself, push on, tap into your resources, be a little bit vulnerable. It's okay to make mistakes. And anytime I feel like I'm like really like banging my head against a wall with something, I just go and do something self-care for myself, something that uplifts me and something that takes care of my mentality, because you got to take care of yourself. You got to give yourself off days. Still, we can't
Mhm.
always keep driving. Like sleep is important. I used to wake up in the middle of the night and start working. I don't do that anymore.
Con- Congratulations.
I'm actually
Congratulations. You're a little
sleeping
bit
through the
less
night,
psychotic.
not
Yeah.
doing that anymore. So I think just making sure you treat yourself well through the process too, and be kind to yourself.
Cool. Because in order to go at the pace that you go as
Yeah.
an entrepreneur and a business owner, you got to have decompressed times. Again, the referencing the conversation with my site director between what's the difference between vision and delusion. He also said, sometimes I go somewhere totally different that I've never been,
Yes.
or I sit, he's like, I will literally sit and stare. I will lay on the grass and stare at the sky and watch the cloud formations, because I find that when I empty my brain of everything, sometimes a solution, instead of sitting and trying to work out a problem, he's like removing myself entirely, going on a walk, sitting in a new coffee shop, trying a new drink, talking to a stranger about what they do in engineering or something entirely unrelated. Sometimes you get a click where, oh, this
Yep.
thing that's working here
Yes.
can be an answer somehow there. And so taking that time to you have to make space for
Yes.
innovation and inspiration.
Yes. That's exactly what you said it so beautifully. My reasoning for doing this is because you've got to create yourself a headspace where the creativity can flow and the ideas can come, because the stress will just keep running around the idea. It'll keep like running like a circle around it. Like, why did this work or why? But if you remove that and just go change the scenery, change the mindset, open up, empty the head, then the answers sometimes come, or a perspective will change, or something you never thought about before. You're like, oh, there it is. Oh, let's go that
There it
way.
is.
There it is.
Yes. Cool. And it takes bravery to step away from a problem and solving something, to let there be enough space for a solution to be made known. So that's cool. I love that. What do you think? Something, this is totally off the subject and switching gears. What is something that would surprise people to learn about you or know about you?
Oh, something that I didn't know. Oh my gosh, something they didn't know about me.
What would surprise me to know about you?
That I love to dance.
Okay. Prove it. Just kidding. That sounds later. Next time we're together. Okay. That you love to dance. That's
Yeah,
fun.
I
I
love to
love it.
dance. Dancing's a huge passion for me. If it's in my kitchen or if it's in a park, dancing with some friends. I feel I like get that energy out there. It's pretty magical to be able to just let loose.
Studies
Dancing's a
show
magical
that
thing.
moving in that way, whether it's dancing or just like organic movement, is actually very, very good for stress management. It's it's psychologically proven. And so it's probably what's helped you stay in such a good headspace throughout the amounts of stress that you have. That's what helps you age backwards. Coffee or tea? What's your
Coffee
drink?
in the
Hmm.
morning, tea after like 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. What kind of tea?
Oh, I like my sleepy time tea. You ever try the sleepy time tea? I also got this African chocolate tea from that I ordered in from a sustainable company in Africa, and it's a loose leaf, but it tastes like chocolate.
Ooh,
It's lovely. Love that too.
okay. I love that.
Or
I was wondering if
if
it was, I was like,
I'm going boring, I like an um what's it called? A decaf Earl Grey.
oh, lovely. That is a nice nighttime tea. Um, the lavender makes it for me.
Yeah,
And I also would love to know what's the most interesting place or your favorite place that education travel has brought you to?
Italy for sure.
Yeah. Was it Milan?
That was a big deal, but yeah, absolutely. But I really enjoyed. I did a fashion week in London, England, a couple of years ago, and that was awesome. In September, I'm going to do the fashion week in Paris.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it. What's the date for that?
I think it's the last week of September into the first week of August.
Exquisite. So excited for you.
Thank you.
Um, what are you most excited about? The new product that's launching from BeautiFoils. Are you ready to share it?
Yes, actually, it's just launching this week. So I
Okay.
launched with a printed embossed foil. So it's a purple print and it says "Your Hair Rocks" on it. But not a lot of people always want to use something printed and economical. We could definitely do a little bit better. So what I decided to come up with is the pop-ups and the rolls, non-printed, just classic silver. So it saves a little bit of money on those prints because before I started this business, I was never one to ever grab the cutest, newest, funnest
Yeah.
print. But again, you can't launch a business without a little bit of fun. And Your Hair Rocks was always a saying that spoke to me. And so I put it on the
Cute.
foils. It's fun. But yeah, so we have 2 new products that just came out. Um, so they'll be available on the store this week, by the end of this week.
Wonderful. I think that's great. Congratulations. And then to conclude, if everyone listening could take away one thought or piece of advice from the time we've shared today, what would you want them to walk away with?
If you feel like you need inspiration, if you're feeling bored in your career, try something new. There's never a lack of new skills. When you're getting good at something and you're really good at it, go try something and that you've never done before. Like if you're not into updos, go take an updo class. If you're really, really great at haircuts, but you're not great at highlights, go take a foiling class. Pivot because the inspiration sometimes comes from changing it up and trying something new. So there's always something to learn. Keep learning. Like again, this career has been a love affair of mine for over 30 years. And I think it's just because you just keep trying new things. Just keep going.
That's beautiful. It's an antidote to burnout for sure.
Yeah.
Favorite book that you've read recently?
Oh yeah. So my favorite new book, Love is in the Hair by my friend that I met at that retreat actually in Palm Springs a few years ago. She's an amazing, her name's Annie Fisher. She's from Seattle. If you haven't checked out her book, you can get her on Amazon. I just finished it. It's basically a memoir of her career, and it's really enlightening. And I was so proud of her for launching that book.
Thank you for the suggestion. I do that for selfish purposes. Maybe none of my listeners care, but I'm adding a book a week to my to read
Oh,
list.
nice.
My goal is to read a book a week. And so I'm always looking
Oh,
for something
Heather,
new to read.
you have
So
to let me
thank
know
you
what you're
for
reading, please.
a couple things. I'll send you a list. I ask people in all different disciplines from all across the world, what are you reading right now? And
Cool.
it's been really a fun journey for me. So thank you for sharing. Where can we find Beautiful Oils? Where can we connect with you? And where can we work with you?
Yep. So if you're in Canada, we're direct distributing in 2 provinces right now in Ontario and in BC, and through Goldwell. And otherwise, anywhere else in the North America, you can go to BeautiFoils.ca and you can order. I'm actually going to be popping up a free shipping coming up soon with a purchase of, maybe purchase of $75 or 100, but I'm going to be coming up with a free shipping option. So keep an eye out for that. So BeautiFoils.ca.
Thank you so much for your time, for your friendship, for your infectious energy, and sincerely, always, and I mean it, it's such an honor to work with you and to know you and to just be able to share in cheering on your ideas and to have
Thank
you.
you.
You're such a beautiful human. And I'm so, so grateful that you spent some time with us. And I hope everybody listening has some inspiration about staying fresh, trying something new. And if you want to innovate or if you want to become an entrepreneur, a little bit more insight into what that journey looks like. Thank you for joining us, Tammie.
Thank
And
you,
thank you
Heather. I
guys
really
for
appreciate
listening.
it.